Bonjour, je m'appelle Sarah Christine et je suis l'animatrice de cette série de vidéos d'Action Canada sur les politiques publiques. Action Canada is a public policy program for emerging leaders who care about public policy. These emerging leaders are from all across the country, all different backgrounds, and work in all different kinds of jobs. Dans cette vidéo, les Fellows d'Action Canada vont expliquer la différence entre la politique et les politiques publiques. Politics and public policy are interconnected, even though they both play their own special part in how the government works. Politics is about who will govern, so which politicians are elected to power based on the ideas that they put forward on how they will run things, and then how they maintain support if they are elected. Politicians can be elected to municipal, provincial, territorial, federal, or First Nation governments. Public policy is about what the government actually does. This takes the form of public servants who work with politicians to turn their ideas into public policy. Public servants are employees of the government. They aren't elected but hired to work for the government. Écoutons maintenant les réponses des Fellows d'Action Canada.
Alors la politique elle-même, c'est les partis politiques qui vont aller en élection, qui vont demander à l'électorat de voter pour eux, qui vont devenir des gens qui vont devenir députés, qui vont devenir ministres, qui vont former les gouvernements. Donc ça, c'est vraiment l'aspect politique.
Politique, c'est les gens qui amènent les idées et puis qui travaillent avec les fonctionnaires et les gens qui travaillent en politique publique pour amener leurs idées à la réalité.
The government of the day sets the guidance for policy, sets a direction, and public servants then implement that direction. But the public servants use science, use stakeholder engagement, and use kind of their best knowledge to try to drive that policy and directions.
The difference between politics and public policy is about partisanship. What drives folks in terms of their political ambition is around hearing from stakeholders. They've got an agenda that they've been elected to implement, and that really drives that's their motivation. That's where they get their sort of direction. On the public policy side, we're really about evidence, and we provide fearless advice, but we loyally implement the direction of the elected officials.
Il faut des politiques, des gens en politique pour être alerte à l'opinion publique, pour créer ces liens-là directs entre les gouvernants et la population. C'est ça qu'en politique on fait, c'est la première ligne de front avec le public. Puis les politiques publiques, eux, c'est plus toutes les machines en arrière, comment les lois, les règles, les règlements sont encadrés pour aider le Canada. T'sais. Je pense que les deux sont complémentaires. On ne voudrait pas avoir seulement des politiques publiques parce qu'on n'aurait pas ce contact-là proche avec la population. Mais on ne voudrait pas juste avoir des politiques parce que sinon, on n'aurait pas de vraies solutions à long terme.
Politics it's the most truly democratic way that the public gets to participate in the public policy process because people go with platforms and say we're going to do these kinds of things and people get to vote through politics. And as a result of what decision makers are elected to be in charge, different public policies are chosen. I think sometimes politics can be the enemy of good public policy in that with elections people are incentivized to choose the most extreme versions of different arguments or conversations or to make things or issues seem scarier or make other people seem like they're ill-intentioned when they're not. And I think that politics is good. It's a fun field to work in. I believe in democracy, but I think that it's a real problem when good public policy suffers as a result of, partisan fighting.
Vous venez d'entendre plusieurs explications de la différence entre la politique et les politiques publiques. Let's now listen to an example that starts out as a politician's idea that then gets turned into a political promise. Then when the politician is elected, his idea gets turned into a public policy by municipal public servants who create a program to serve people.
I used to work in the mayor's office, and here in Halifax, prior to Mayor Savage getting elected, municipalities were really focused on things like roads and bridges and garbage, not a lot of social policy. But when Mayor Savage got elected, he said, I want to ensure that everybody in Halifax has kind of equal opportunity, everybody has good quality of life. I want to be involved in more social policy. And one of the really important social policies that we're involved in was food security. There's lots of communities here in Halifax that unfortunately don't have access to fresh, healthy, affordable food. So one of the policies that we implemented was to ensure that no matter where you lived in Halifax, you would have access to fresh, healthy, affordable food. So we did something really neat. We put food on buses, and when we brought that food out to communities to ensure everybody had access. And that happened because Mayor Savage was elected on a platform to get more involved in issues like food security.